In this video, we're going to be going over, is Palantir stock currently overvalued? Should you be buying this stock? Or, with the significant increase in price, should you actually be selling all your shares or actually reducing your position? I'm not here to waste your time, so you don't have to like, subscribe, buy anything, do anything. And I'll even give you a 30-second quick, summary of what I'm about to say, is that obviously right now, Palantir is significantly overvalued based on a financial standpoint. Its price is way above its financial intrinsic value. But based on speculation, it might not be, from a lot of people, it might not be at the price that it should be at. And there's no doubt that what Palantir is making is unlike realistically anything else we've seen, and it is most definitely going to be building the future of American society as a whole. All right, so thank you for sticking around, and let's just get right into the video. All right, so I have Palantir pulled up here on Yahoo Finance, and I'm going to show you right now so the diluted EPS 12 months, right, is 0.20, right? So, if you do the price divided by the trailing 12 month earnings per share, what do you get? You get 616. Wow. So yeah, so that's the first thing that really jumps out to me, when I'm looking at, obviously, everybody, when you're looking at the valuation of a stock, first thing you're always going to look at is the price to earnings. Like that's the main thing that you're going to want to look at. And then, yeah, after that, you're also going to want to look at forward P and 2-year forward P. But, it's just crazy, 616, you can even see on 1000X, thank you to Jeremy Lefebvre. Many stocks trade at 20 to 28 PE, right? Like, let's just compare this really quick. He already has Palantir. So let's compare this to Nvidia. It's already there, but and another growth stock, for example, let's just say Meta, right? Even though Meta is not, realistically, it's not the same as, a Palantir, but PE wise, all three of these are positions in my portfolio, right? But wow, Meta's at a 30 PE, which is great for a growth stock. That you're already going to be paying more than what's expected, PE wise, but for something that's 600, that's a little crazy, right? That's a little big. So as you can see, Nvidia's at 52 PE and Meta's at 30, and I wouldn't even say this is insanely high, right? 52 price to earnings for a growth stock, even like Nvidia that has, one of the largest market caps of any company, it's honestly not the worst you're paying. So as well, you can also see price to sales ratio right here. As you can see, most stocks trade at 1.8 to 2.6, but that's obviously those are value stocks almost, but Meta's at 11, Nvidia's 28, but then Palantir's almost 100. That's quite a bit, right? So, and obviously the same thing for the price to earnings growth ratio at Palantir is 8.5, whereas Nvidia and Meta's actually has quite a big price to earnings growth ratio. I was showing, compared to a lot of other stocks, I'll put it up on the screen right now, but it's actually one of the highest price to earnings growth, but still Palantir is larger. So really the main thing I'm trying to show you here is that, Palantir, from a financial standpoint, is the price of the stock is much higher than its intrinsic value. But that doesn't mean, there's many ways of looking at a stock, right? You can look at from their financials, from from speculation, from many other ways. But that's just one way of looking at the stock. But an example that I like to show people is that, think about it, this is for Amazon, their PE ratio history in 2013. Their PE ratio is 664, and that's more than Palantir, right? So 616. So, but if you think about it, if you were to have bought Amazon back in 2013, that would have been amazing, right? The price of Amazon in 2013 was only $19. So that's one thing you also have to think about. All right, so enough of their financials. I want to show you some of the reasons as to why people are still wanting to invest in this company, because I would still say, even personally myself, that Palantir is really going to be changing the world forever. And you can even see in their presentation, for example, a lot of people think AI, there's still not like applications of it, right? Like for example, like a lot of AI is like it's still just like a concept, but you could show Palantir's inaugural warp speed cohort power like through AI and technology, right? So like it shows their capabilities. Um, so yeah, look, it says warp speed helps us ensure manufacturing capabilities for our customers quickly by using the software. We've seen up to 200 times efficiency. To basically saying this company is using it's called Anduril, and they're using Palantir in order to basically make their company more efficient, right? For example, Palantir extending its long-standing Army Vantage partnership for up to 4 years. So for like people say that a lot of Palantir's income comes straight from our own U.S. government. So it's helping our army and much other things. So another example is Cleveland Clinic uses AIP, right? Their software, Palantir's software, in order to streamline operations and bring world-class care to more patients. So this is another application of Palantir and the speed and the skill of the U.S. government. So that's a great thing that I like to see. That's especially why I had invested, a long time ago, was because of the U.S. government being involved and using Palantir, right? Like when you have the U.S. government on your side of your company, think about that. That leads to not much regulation, right? Because they want to help you, as well as I had shown in other videos that our government has been spending a lot of money, a lot of tax money on investing in AI, right? In subsidiaries for AI companies like Palantir. And like this, through our renewed enterprise contract, Rio Tinto Rail Operations will use Foundry, right? Foundry is one of their softwares, and AIP to orchestrate and optimize train routes for unmanned trains. So that's an amazing thing to see as well. As well as I'd shown in their when their earnings came out, right? Obviously the stock jumped, which was honestly for good reason. As you can see, like their financials were amazing. As you can see, their net income. The only problem there was with Palantir on their earnings statement, which I'm surprised the stock actually, it went up as much as it did, because I would have been worried. Think about there's SAR, that's like stock compensation for their employees, right? So actually their net income was much lower than last year, but I think people understood, like without the stock-based compensation, it would have been, as you can see, 164 million. But yeah, as you can see, the revenue growth in the US, on a year basis, up 52%. That is absolutely amazing. As well, their commercial revenue growth has jumped, as well as you can see the US government revenue growth from 2023 last year, 237 million to 343 million. That is a great thing to see as well. And then one of the main things that I did look at was that obviously the letter to shareholders from Alex Karp himself, the CEO, and he always, throughout all of his letters that he sends, he's always saying the same message, that we're still in the earliest stages. We're starting the revolution. This is going to be for a long time. This is only the beginning. And that's basically what he's very convicted. And that's the thing. He's very, when you're listening to the conference call, he's very confident in what he's saying. He's not, he thinks that he loves his company more than any other investor, and he's ready to promote it, and because he knows what he's working on. So yeah, our total revenue in the fourth quarter last year were a record. Yeah, so they're at record highs. They shattered expectations, but people still wonder, obviously, is the price worth it, right? And like he said, as software juggernaut has indeed emerged, he's not lying, right? Palantir has a market cap of 265 billion, right? That's close to a lot of other companies. For example, I'm gonna put on the screen right now. But yeah, it's Palantir is becoming really huge, right? It used to, I remember not a year ago, when I had purchased Palantir, it was just a tiny company. People weren't even talking about it, and you really had to just trust it. So my consensus with the stock is that right now, obviously, I'm very supportive of the company, and I think that this is, I like to invest in innovation, right? And I would say that Palantir is definitely one of the top innovative companies that I am currently looking at. And listen, I've been following this stock since $16, and I'm obviously proud of what's happened to it, but the price of 116, it just does not seem, if you worked at like a large firm, you wouldn't even be able to purchase this stock because it does not follow any rules whatsoever of like financials. You know what I mean? Like this is the definition of overvalued. Warren Buffett, he wouldn't even lay a finger on this stock, frankly. But that's not always, that shouldn't always tell you to not buy a stock, right? Like there are many stocks that I own that, that people consider overvalued, and people there if you when you buy a stock, you can count on that there's going to be at least hundreds of people who are going to say that, oh, it's overvalued, and many people are going to say, oh, it's undervalued. But you have to trust in your gut and what do you think. But the facts are that Palantir is definitely overvalued for a price of 116. As if you can even see the chart yourself, this is just a straight, just vertical growth. It's not even questioned. But yeah, so over the next couple years, I definitely do see Palantir still rising, right? Like there will be a day that will come that we will hit 200, but from here until then, it just seems like there's definitely going to be some complications, and I feel like there might be a pop of this bubble. Some people consider it a bubble. But yeah, what I'm doing personally, I currently own, I think I said 77 shares, and I'm not selling any. I don't think I'm going to be selling any of my shares currently, unless, right now at 116, but I'm going to pick a price. I'd probably say around like maybe 150 or something like that, where I'm definitely going to be reducing my position. But I'm definitely not going to be adding, but I will still be holding. But yeah, in the future, I definitely will be reducing my position, but I would definitely not say right now is a great time to get into the stock, because right now there's a lot of like hype and, fear of missing out. And, there's a lot of like call options versus put options. So right now I'd say definitely not the time to be investing, but I'm definitely very proud of this company and what it's becoming, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So thank you so much for watching the video, and let me know in the comments if you think differently and if there's other things that I should be looking at that I haven't touched upon. So thank you so much, and I'll see you.